You thought the last day of school was all fun and freedom? Think again. Because for some students, it was the beginning of something terrifying. A forgotten locker. A mysterious bus route. And a classmate who never made it home. These are true stories that were never meant to be told. And by the end, you will never walk through your school halls the same way again. Watch till the end. Because the last story might just explain why some students are never seen again after the bell rings. The last day of school always felt strange. Half-empty classrooms. Desks pushed into corners. Walls stripped bare. Ella stayed behind to help her favorite teacher clean up. She liked the quiet. Liked the way the hallways echoed when no one was around. While wheeling old textbooks to the storage room, she passed the East Wing lockers. They had been sealed off all year for renovation. But one was open. Locker 329. The door hung slightly ajar. No visible rust. No label. She paused. Pulled it open. Inside, a single, yellowed photo. Folded twice. It showed a group of students in the gymnasium. Late 80s, judging by the clothes. But every face was scratched out with deep pen marks. Except one. A boy. Standing in the corner. Tall. Smiling directly at the camera. Ella flipped the photo. One name written in shaky ink. Jamie, last day forever. She frowned. There was no Jamie in her school. At least, no one she knew. That night, she asked her mom. Her mom went quiet. Too quiet. Then said, "That locker was sealed for a reason." Ella could not stop thinking about it. The next day, after school officially ended, she went back. Just to look. The hallway lights flickered. The air was stale. The locker was closed now. But this time, a sticky note was on the front. Ella. Her name. No one else was in the building. The custodians had already locked up. She opened it. The photo was gone. But something else was taped inside. A schedule. Next year's schedule. Only it was not hers. It was Jamie's. Homeroom, East Wing. Year, 1989. She took a step back. Then heard footsteps. From the hallway. Soft. Slow. Deliberate. She turned. No one. But the intercom clicked on. Static. Then a boy's voice. "I have been waiting for someone to find me." She ran. Down the stairs. Through the front doors. Did not stop until she was home. That night, she dreamed of the photo. But now, she was in it. Standing beside Jamie. Smiling. And her own face had not been scratched out. When she woke, her school ID was missing. And etched into the mirror. "See you next year." Ella did not go back to school that summer. But strange things kept happening. Her email account received one unread message every morning. No subject. No sender. Each message was blank. Except for one sentence at the bottom. One more day. She stopped checking after the 7th. Her phone alarm began going off at 3:29 a.m. every night. Even when she deleted the app. Even when she powered it off. Always the same time. 3:29. Like the locker number. Her parents noticed her pale skin, the bags under her eyes. She lied. Said it was just stress. But deep down, she knew something had started the moment she opened that locker. 2 weeks before the next school year. Her school mailed out new class assignments. Ella tore open the envelope. Her hands trembled. She stared at the paper. Her assigned locker. 329. Homeroom, East Wing. The hallway that had been sealed. She tried to call the school office. Disconnected. She asked her mom to call. No one picked up. On the first day back, Ella showed up late. Waited until most students were in class. The East Wing felt colder. Like walking into a place sealed off from time. Lights flickered above. The walls were still bare. But one locker had been freshly painted. Number 329. Her name tag already placed at the top. She reached out. Not because she wanted to, but because something pulled her hand forward. The door creaked open. Inside, a photo. The same gymnasium. Same group. Same boy in the corner. Still not scratched out. But this time, there was another face left untouched. Her own. And written below it. Class of Forever. Behind her, a whisper. Welcome back. Ella turned. But she was already gone. To the rest of the world. She never showed up that day. An empty desk. A forgotten name. But sometimes, new students passing through the East Wing say they feel watched. Sometimes they hear footsteps behind them. Sometimes they find old photos in their lockers. With names they do not recognize. And faces that smile. Just a little too wide. Now, every year on the last day of school, a student goes missing. Always someone who lingers too long. Volunteers to help. Feels too comfortable in the quiet. And every time, the janitor finds locker 329 slightly open. With a new photo inside. Always the same gym. Always the same boy in the corner. But now, the photo holds more faces. Smiling. Unblinking. Each one recently added. No scratches. No escape. Only a sentence written in the corner. In faded ink. Class never really ends. And if you ever find yourself walking through an empty hallway, with the lights flickering above you, and you hear a locker creak open by itself, do not turn around. Do not look inside. Because if your face appears in the photo, it is already too late. Tyrese was the last one out. His backpack was light. His mind was heavier. Final exams were over. Summer break had officially started. But he stayed behind to say goodbye to Ms. Vallon, the old science teacher retiring that year. By the time he walked to the front of the school, the parking lot was empty. Even the yellow buses were gone. Except for one. Bus 103. He had never seen it before. The paint was dull. Like it had sat in the sun for too long. But the door creaked open just as he approached. The driver did not speak. Just nodded. Motioned him inside. Tyrese hesitated. But it was hot, and he was tired. So he stepped in. There were no other students. Only torn seats. Dusty windows. And a soft humming coming from somewhere near the back. He chose a spot near the front. Clutched his backpack. The bus began to move. But instead of turning toward his neighborhood, it headed the other way. Toward the hills. Where no one lived. Where roads turned to gravel. He leaned forward. Excuse me, this is not my route. The driver did not answer. Only glanced at him in the mirror. His eyes. They were entirely white. No pupils. No blink. Tyrese tried to stand. But the bus jolted sharply. The windows turned darker. Fog pressed against the glass. From the outside. And from the inside. Something began moving down the aisle. Not footsteps. Just a soft dragging sound. Slow. Scraping. Coming closer. Tyrese backed into his seat. His fists clenched tight around his backpack straps. The dragging sound reached the row behind him. He turned his head. Just slightly. Something was crawling. Not walking. Its limbs were too long. Its face too smooth. Like a mannequin. Dipped in ash. It reached the back of his seat. Gripped the top. And pulled itself up. Face to face. Inches away. It smiled. The bus lurched again. And everything went black. When Tyrese opened his eyes, he was standing alone. On the side of an empty highway. The bus was gone. The road behind him stretched into thick fog. No signs. No sound. Just trees. He walked home. But it took hours. His phone had no signal. His shoes were soaked. When he finally arrived, his parents stared in shock. "Where were you? You have been missing for 3 days." He tried to explain. The strange bus. The driver. The thing inside. But no one believed him. That night, he checked the school district's website. There was no bus 103. There had never been. But his backpack, still dusty from the ride, had something new inside. A folded bus schedule. One stop circled in red. The final line read, "One-way trip. Riders do not return." He burned the schedule. But sometimes, late at night, he hears that same low hum outside his window. And in the fog, the shape of a school bus. Just barely visible. Waiting.